Alright, so this is Forgotten Sands, and I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Woo! Yeah, so yeah, sorry about that. Uplay exists, and that is a problem. For this game to launch, you need both Steam and Uplay, which doesn't make any sense. But it's quite annoying. And also, the cursor will be on screen a lot, because I don't know why. Alright, so into the game. This is a very recent Prince of Persia game from 2010. It was released with the movie that came out in 2010 as well, so it was kind of just to boost the popularity for Prince of Persia again, just to make some money, I guess. But it's actually a pretty decent game, and a decent speedrun as well, I hope. So yeah, every time I skip a cutscene, the cursor will be on screen.
Looks like the only way out is to climb up.
By the way, I am epicdudeguy, as you can see on the screen, and with me on the couch I have some people who might want to introduce themselves.
Oh, I'm Sphere. I don't know anything about this game.
I'm 7 and I don't know anything.
I'm Zonorous. I've seen like 1 or 2 runs from this.
That's fair.
May I talk only one, by the way? Hey. Yes, I do. I had the world record for this game for 1 day. Until Fingers the Hand snapped it from me. And literally destroyed me.
So yeah, in the early sections of the game, it's mostly platforming, and the fastest way to move in this game is by jumping, but when you jump to walls, it's really slow.
It was a nice wall run, by the way. I
yeah.
like that.
I want to avoid jumping to a wall most of the time.
This reminds me of a zone.
Also hitting buttons might be clever to do.
Also reminds me of a zone. This is looking worse and worse.
Ow. Should be good now. Alright, I'm gonna
Kids
try
don't know.
oh. If you, oh yeah, there, I got it. So if you double jump to a wall, you can get a bit higher, and you can actually reach ledges without wall running to them, which is kind of a nice strat.
So in the early game, there's a lot of small stuff you can do. No really big skips until like a few more minutes in. So as you saw, just jump a bit earlier to the curtain for turning on that beam and small stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really small time savers here.
It's something really common in Prince of Persia speedrunning. The start of the game is small optimization there and there until you get rewind power.
Okay, so here I have to wait a bit, because if you go too fast,
Is it not activated?
you get
Damn.
like insane graphical glitches, which I experienced for the first time yesterday. Like, it actually doesn't happen on my PC, but on this PC it does.
Yeah, so all the light effects kind of cause some really weird flickering on the whole screen. And even restarting checkpoints doesn't fix it. So
Yeah, you have
would
to
to
relaunch the
yeah.
game.
But it's really funny to play like 20 minutes with that.
Yeah. Nice double jump there. And here's actually a glitch that saves like I don't even know how much it saves, but it's very little. You can do this, where he just starts wall running midway. It's kind of like the game stores the last direction you wall run from those cobblestone, and then when you wall run up and then hold down, he does that direction again, like the last one you used. It's kind of funny.
But it's only really useful like in early game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there are any other uses for it.
No, that's pretty much the only place.
So I guess coming up with the first like slightly bigger skip of early game.
Oh, interesting.
It's called go over that fence and then go back. So actually, after activating these 3 buttons, you're supposed to go kind of around to get down, but you can also do it directly, which is really easy, as you'll see now. First try.
Yeah, I have to set up a precise jump to land on top of a fence so you don't die. Because if you land further, you would just die from fall damage. But
Slow clap.
yeah, if you land on the fence, it's high enough to not die from the fall. So that's very good.
Yeah, but obviously landing on the fence is very precise.
Yeah.
Hence the setup.
Stop jumping on top of enemies. This is not Mario. Here you can skip the intended mechanic just by double jumping. I guess double jumping is kind of a weird term for this. It's more like consecutive jumps. Okay, so here you can notice that auto aim is very powerful, as you can
Not see.
as you can jump through walls with it. Yeah, it's just so powerful. It depends targets the pillar behind the wall, and you can just
Yeah, it
jump.
gets prioritized over the wall collision.
Yeah, it's
To
pretty
just go through.
pretty interesting, I should say.
Doing the slow method here.
Yeah.
There.
Can you like? Thank you. So here you can skip this room by doing some wall running and some jumping. Get to the pillar early.
Save a few seconds again. Or like 1 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you're supposed to get on the pillars on the other side of the room and then go all the way around. So it's quite a good time save.
By the time I reached the vaults, I understood why Malik had come here.
Why is this game in German, by the way?
Yeah.
It's subtitled. Bro. Is that faster?
No, it's just because the PC is in German.
Rip.
So story-wise, we're chasing our brother Malik, basically for the entire game. Right now, it's basically fighting a war, but he's losing, and he's gonna activate some zombie army to win, but that's not a good idea.
Like Solomon's Sand Army or something?
Yeah. So here we're gonna skip this entire room by doing wall running. There we go. There's like a million ways to skip this room. It's pretty funny.
Do we have some time for donations?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so first one is $50 by Not a Dog saying woof.
Convincing.
Next one is a $5 donation by Link Boss. He says, hello to everyone from France. Great marathon. Quite bad I couldn't attend this year, but our boy 7 Eraser 7 is there to represent the baguette in every one of us. Save the animals, kill the frames.
Thanks, Inglas.
Alright, so now we get to meet Razia, who is a djinn. She's gonna give us magical powers.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
And as per custom for Prince of Persia games, the first magical power is recall, or the ability to rewind time, which is always broken in every single Prince of Persia game. So that's good.
But I guess it's the least broken in this game, I would say. Like in the other ones, they are like zipping itself is a really crazy use. Sadly, that doesn't really work here because of the rewind mechanic.
Yeah, they kind of changed how it works in this game. In the original trilogy, well, not the original trilogy, but in the Sad trilogy, you can kind of choose where you want to stop the rewind, and in this game you can't do that. It always rewinds to like a safe spot. Luckily, being on the wall like this is considered a safe spot, and that didn't work. And you can get a higher wall run with that. But not if it doesn't work for no reason.
You can see that by reloading checkpoint, he get back his scent.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You get boosted up because you hit the ceiling or something. And you can get really high. But yeah, as you could tell, my wall run was way higher than those earlier ones. It was just because of the rewind.
Yeah, we'll use that technique a lot in this run. This wall run extending. Also, you have to activate these enemies to avoid a soft lock, right?
Yeah, you have to get all the checkpoints here, basically. Otherwise, none of the other ones will will happen. So you can't actually progress.
To find defenses that could tell me from an enemy.
Yeah, the traps in this game are pretty punishing. So, first bit of combat here. There's normal attacks and charged attacks. Oh, damn. So lucky. Wow. And there's also combos, and I was charging up for the 5th combo there, and when you do a heavy attack on the 5th, then you get a really strong attack that does like 3 hits, so you can clear most of them out. The fight is optional, but I need experience in this run, because you can use experience points to
Perhaps these defenses
unlock upgrades, which are like you can use for power-ups.
I guess we should quickly talk about these light balls which emerge from the enemies. So red is health and blue is the energy which you use to rewind or use abilities, and the yellow ones, that's what Robbie just talked about, is for the experience system. So like the first upgrade you get after 20 cent points, then 40, 60, and it caps at 300, I think. Which basically determines the early game route. As for some skips, you need some certain abilities, which you'll see later. It's a good video game.
Yeah, there he actually targets the lamp for some reason, even though you can't actually jump to it.
And it's a great video game.
Auto targets it. So yeah, there I skipped, or it's kind of a what's it called again? Sequence break to do this puzzle faster. So you only have to rotate the lever once, and then you can activate both of the other levers. And here's an unskippable cutscene. They really wanted you to show, or to see the sarcophagus. It's right there.
And also the suffering of these frozen people. It's also
I
important.
guess, yeah. And sarcophagus gives you experience, which is very important, and also gives you energy, which is nice. But we mostly get it for experience. It gives you 50, which is a lot. And the camera also exists, as you can see. Sometimes likes to show you other dimensions, which is not useful. It can be funny. Alright, another skip for this puzzle. Gonna do a setup here. To Warren over here, and I
And fail.
somehow didn't do it correctly. I think I wasn't looking away. No. Interesting.
It's because the game is in German.
What? Racism.
Still not though. Okay. I mean, that setup is solid, but I guess we'll just do clipping instead. Oh, I'm bad. Prince, hello? Can you not die?
Princess gives up, falls down by.
Oh my god, are you serious? Okay.
Wasn't there a consistent setup by Sam?
Yeah, I just did that, but
Okay.
it didn't work.
That's cool. Shout out to Samabem 14, world record holder for this game.
Guess I'll have to do this without setup. Which is... Dude, this is really annoying, actually. Okay, that should work. So you wall run all the way to the other side and then you go back. Because you need to press the button to open the door, but you're not supposed to go over the fence. How was that the direction? What? This game?
Bullied.
What the hell even? Dude, this is actually insane. Okay. Wow.
Small
okay.
note about
This,
the rewind system.
this game.
You can rewind your previous rewinds and get back the energies you used to rewind. Something like that. Makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, let's go.
I mean, like, it's actually really easy to do a jump, but it's actually not working, so... I guess all my setups aren't working. Wow.
So as soon as it works, there's another skip for this room. It's quite precise. You want to try to warren over the fence, and it's, the timing is quite tight.
He's just not doing it.
Yeah.
Actually doing it perfectly.
There we go. It's just easy. Looks very easy, but it can just not work for no reason. And like, what am I doing wrong?
Should I do another rewind boost to skip this puzzle?
Okay. And to the curtain. Oh no.
Yeah, you can just drop down there, skip the curtain.
I doubt this is what my father had in mind when he sent me here. Go visit Malik. Teach you to command an army. Teach me how to chase him through the entire palace is more like it. He even shot an arrow at me.
I reset the checkpoint at the start of this, so I could get a good cycle, which has worked out so far.
Again, with a nice side effect of getting 2 energies consistently because we play on easy. But resetting checkpoints for cycles is also a common thing, especially in the trap corridors, where you really want to get a pattern you're used to, so you can get through it quickly without damage.
Alright, that was pretty good.
So the hitbox of these vertical saw blades can be really weird. Like, it looks like you really should get hit, but you don't. And like, well, I won't complain, thank you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna try to clip through this door.
Oh, let's go.
Alright, there we go.
Nice.
So with the whirlwind ability, which I just unlocked, you smash the ground, and then for a couple frames you kind of have no collision and you can walk for a bit, and then you have to chain another whirlwind attack to keep that state. And then if you chain them enough, you can go through doors or other thin walls. It's really nice and we're gonna use it a lot. It used to be really inconsistent and wasn't really done much, only with like really big skips, but the way I'm doing it, we call it neutral clipping, and it's a lot easier. Wow, that was pretty close. You basically, if you don't hold a
The
direction,
army is getting more powerful.
so the couple frames you have to move only start when you start holding a direction. So then you can just space out the timing between holding a direction and pressing the whirlwind attack again. And then you can clip. And also I did,
Let's jump into fences.
yeah, I'm doing a glitch here that's called storage, and here you can see how it works. There you go. So by jumping into a fence, the game thinks you're on a wall, even though you're not. And then it sucks you onto the nearest wall when you rewind. So you can use that to just drop down and die, and then when you rewind it just sucks you onto the wall right away, and then you can survive the fall you previously died from. And I'm gonna get some more experience by killing these big guys. They give 5 experience each.
Yeah, so we need the upgrades to get another ability aside from the whirlwind one to do a script quite soon-ish, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, good boss fight. So yeah, I charge up the 5th attack there and do a power attack, and then he dies.
If you know how the combat and combo system works, it can really speed up fights. Shout out to Semibam 14.
Yeah. So there I also skipped this room, kind of. You can do that skip with the fight present as well, but we kind of want to kill him for experience.
It's kind of quick experience, you can just
Yeah.
grab it.
So there I got storage again by jumping into the trap.
Yeah, on a side note, storage doesn't go away if you reload the checkpoint.
Yeah. It only goes away if you hit a wall or jump into a wall. But I'm gonna use it in a bit to get to that sarcophagus you can see on the left. So I can just drop down here. And then rewind and get back up, and then you can get to this secret passage a bit faster. Also, those sarcophagi, you're supposed to break them using like a heavy attack, but you can also just jump near them and then they break. It's pretty funny.
Great programming. So there would be a small optimization here if you would be nice. That's not the optimization. But if you would be fast enough on the way to the sarcophagus, your rewind would just be enough so you can rewind back up. It's a really, really tight window though, so kind of hard to do.
So now we have enough upgrades to get stone armor. And if you're wondering why I have 2 upgrade points left that I'm not using, it's like a Uplay rewards thing where you can get 2 extra upgrades from the beginning of the game.
By spending Uplay points or something. right?
Yeah, but it's actually not allowed in the run, so I can't use those. Because you get it prior to the run, and then it's kind of New Game Plus, which is also a category that exists, but nobody runs it. This is sadly one of the puzzles that we actually have to do. Luckily it's not that long.
Luckily, you also can't skip the cutscenes telling you where to go. So
How
as
I-
an experienced player, that's really cool.
Yeah, how else would I know where to go?
Yeah, that's right. But you can skip the story cutscenes, most
Yeah.
of them, because that's not important.
Malik who? Actually, I should probably reset. If you reset the checkpoint, the first pot you break will have a energy in it. So I'm gonna activate stone armor, and then drop down here, and survive through the death barrier. Normally there's one there, but stone armor prevents you from dying from them. And then we're down here, but there's nothing here. So we can just clip through the door.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a fighty which, the end of which
Hello?
triggers opening this door.
Right.
Nice.
Kind of bad, but whatever.
So on a side note, you asked that. But on a side note, you can use the whirlwind ability. If you don't have energy, you still pound the ground. But sadly, the explosion part is really crucial for the clipping. Like if you just do it without energy and you punch the ground, you'll not go forward.
Explain what's going on.
Yeah. And also, if you actually upgrade the whirlwind ability to like a higher level, I'm not sure at what part that starts, but the animation becomes way longer. And he actually does like
That's level 4, I think.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
the really cool super whirlwind.
Yeah. It's like a really cool attack, but then you can't use it for clipping anymore. So in New Game Plus, you actually don't just fill out all the upgrades. Actually, don't want whirlwind level 4.
So aside from stone arm and whirlwind, which are kind of the abilities you use for the glitches, you'll like all the other upgrades you'll get are for combat basically, to speed up combat and or give you more XP or more damage or whatever.
Yeah. The one we're still missing are ice, which is a good one. And then there's also fire trill,
Which is even better.
completely useless. Like leaves the trill of fire behind you as you walk, but it doesn't really do that much damage.
Like even on level 4, so the enemies just walk through. Doesn't look that cool, no.
Okay, storage here to
That's interesting.
soft lock myself.
At J. Mechner. What was this?
Don't leave me here to die. Please. Step back. Please. Mercy. Have mercy on me.
I'll do it safe. Just rewind later, so you get lower. There's like a certain height where you just get stuck. It's precise jump here. I'm gonna use the rewind boost twice to skip the first part of the prison.
But not twice consecutively, that's important, that doesn't work. But you need that safe spot like this this swing pole in between,
And I hang it up.
because you can't chain Warren extensions. We'll just rewind back to the first one basically.
And there's also a skip on this side, but it's insanely inconsistent, so I'm not gonna do it.
How can he not go for it?
I just said.
Ah.
It's insanely inconsistent. Oh,
I think pause
Actually,
buffering makes it 100% consistent.
You're not supposed to be allowed to jump there, but I did. So yeah, the skip would save, I think, about 40 seconds. Skip's doing all of this.
Yeah, basically the whole second part of the prison you just don't do.
There's also a trick here that I'm doing. If you freeze the water at the very late moment, you get lower on it, and then when you jump to the pole, you don't get like an extra animation, which you would get
To turn around.
if you're high up.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't talk about the freezing animation, but or the freezing ability. But
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
before the prison, we got to meet Razia again, the djinn, and this time she gave us the ability to freeze water without turning it into ice.
Like you freeze it in time. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Also, jumping around corners is pretty funny. Excuse me?
Interesting.
You're supposed to wall run. Rip all my energy.
Nice. Yeah, so that was another use of storage. Basically the same as the first one you've seen, but there we haven't explained it yet. If you get storage and get over a fence, you jump off, close to a wall. You can wall run to the, as you saw here, to the right of that fence where there's no ground, and you can use it to get up the fence and kind of jump off it.
Wow. And then I'm getting trolled by this game.
I think Sam is jinxing this run, honestly.
I mean, I can just reset checkpoint here to get sound back. Am I really doing it early? So yeah, I'm trying to clip through this, which I'm failing at. It's not registering my input.
What kind of controller are you using? Who brought that thing?
I don't know.
So there's a small thing after that clip, you can kind of rubble boost. I don't think it's consistent, but sometimes if you jump out, the game just launches you up and up or onto that onto a beam there or something.
Yeah, it's kind of because you're stuck in collision. You can sometimes get a boost from it. Because now I've actually have to kill this guy. Killing him will always give you an energy, which I need for this skip. Just rewind boost.
Easy. Also, I want to point out that what he did with the magician, like stabbing him, actually kills him, unlike in other Prince of Persia games, like Warrior Within, where you can stab an enemy 5 times and he still gets up. Because your weapon is too weak. It's great.
We do have another $10 donation by Ardem saying good luck to all the runners.
Thanks.
Thanks for that donation. Okay, so now we're at the baths. There's some cool skips here that you can do. The first one involves auto-targeting. So there's a pillar right next to me. And if I rewind boost here, he's still gonna target it, but now there's something in between, so he just grabs that instead. Skipping that part. Oh, wrong side. And here, you can do some consecutive wall jumping. Skip this part, which was found by Drunken
Nice.
Shoe.
First try.
There used to be another skip there, but this one's way faster and it's pretty cool.
I mean, for that specific area, I think there were skips known for a longer time, but none really was consistent. And yeah, Drunken Shoe kind of found that made it consistent.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's one of my favorite sections. This was where the storage glitch got found. And normally you initiate a very long chase sequence here, which is interesting for glitch hunting because the chase sequence loops around this place multiple times. And what you want to do as a speedrunner is just to go to the final bit of the loop, which is what we are going to do right here.
And run on the death barrier.
Used storage to get down, and then activated stone armor to survive the death barrier, which also lets you walk on it, same as here. And
Someone
then,
made this. This is real.
but now most of the mechanics that would usually be here are not here, so we have to do some tricks to get back in bounds, and now we skip the entire chase sequence. Or not entirely, but most of it. Which is a really big time saver.
It's basically the skip that revived pop speedrunning.
Yeah, really revolutionized this game. Alright, let's see if I'm bad at flipping or...
Actually
If I'm
trying
bad at
this, save
flipping.
like 5 seconds.
Wow, really bad. Dude, that's insane. Okay, that's kind of worrying, but... Yeah, you just go here to open the door, so... Flipping through it doesn't save that much.
Opening doors? You can do that?
Flipping way easier. Actually, I guess I should not mention that, but I do it anyways. So, epicdudeguy's last stream before this marathon, he did a practice run of this game, and I think it was like, what, 1 hour 35?
No,
Can
it's 131 or something.
Oh, sorry, 131, yeah. So he's well prepared.
I practiced like the entire day. So
Yeah. I mean, it's going okay so far.
stuff roasting. Unlucky. Actually, if you die in this corridor, you can't progress anymore. That's pretty funny.
Haha.
Happened to a lot of people casually. Because what happens, the next part in the observatory, where a cutscene is supposed to play, just doesn't play when you pull the lever, so you can't do anything. And you can't go back anymore either. And this game has autosave, so you can't really go back to an earlier save either, so you're pretty screwed. At Jordan Mechner.
We had nothing to do with this game, whatever. You made sense of time, it's your fault. So the observatory, I guess, is one of the kind of slower areas where there's a few small optimizations and a bigger skip in the end, but it's mostly an area done casually. As there's no glitch, at least to this date, to gain a lot of height, which we would or could use. Yeah, this.
Wait, what?
Nice, it didn't work.
Normally he like wall runs into the wall and then gets up.
pops out, yeah.
This time he didn't.
So we would need a glitch which gives us a lot of height or something to skip this area.
Yeah, that would completely destroy this game.
As there are also a few towers you could just bypass without a problem.
No, I don't think so. Because I'll never play this game again. No, it's a pretty good run. It's just pretty hard if you really want to get time.
I doubt this thing is intended as a mode of transportation.
Honestly, anything below 140, 148 is a great time to have in this game.
Yeah, there's also the NMG category, where you don't use glitches, basically. Well, you use some tricks, but no major glitches, as it is called that way. And it's like 1 hour 30 something, I think.
Yeah.
Still faster than Stokas PB.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still,
well,
still faster than Turkish PB.
it's true.
Okay, so now we activated the observatory fully, and it's gonna rotate and then transport us to the other side of the room. But if you go onto it,
You missed the platform.
if you go onto it right away,
One last thing for Malik.
there's a moment in the sequence where you have to freeze time to freeze all the moving platforms, so you can actually move on them. But if you do it this way, where you just go onto it the second time it loops around, you don't have to freeze it, so you save like 2 seconds by jumping onto it here. And you also get tilted, which is funny.
Another Snake cosplay.
Kinda, yeah. There's actually a way. Oh, there's a way to get on to
Interesting.
this ledge. There's a way to clip into here from the observatory, but we can't reliably progress after that. Because this boss fight doesn't initiate. And yeah, speaking of boss fight, this is a boss fight, so pay attention. 1, 2, 3, and it's it. Really shows how OP the ice upgrade is, which is the upgrade I just got. And now we get on to the worst corridor of this game. Oh, I'm bad. Wow. Okay, that was my fault.
The worst corridor in this game until you get to the ancient ruins, kind of.
Well, that one's skill. This one's stupid. Wait, what? How was that not at the end? I did a wall run. That's funny. Yeah, this corridor just sucks because none of the traps line up properly. You have to wait everywhere. Snipe?
Speaking of boss fights,
Yeah, so this is an actual boss fight. Where you have to do like stuff. Usually.
yeah, the boss fight is quite long and tedious because it's not just one fight, but it's a like a partial fight. And
Yes.
if you do some platforming, dodge his attacks, and you can attack again. That's like 4 times or something.
Yeah.
So
So
this fight will be
we're,
really slow.
We're not gonna leave him alive after that. Except
Oh,
we are.
bye.
And we're just gonna peace out. Goodbye. Yeah. Just clip through the throne and you can progress normally. Easy peasy.
This gives saves like 2 minutes or something, I'd say.
Yeah. Except when you die to traps from damage. Most sad death in this game. Alright, so now we get to meet Razia again. And this time we get the dash ability, I guess. What's it? Do you know what it's actually called?
No.
Well, the prince transforms himself into a ball of light and he can dash to enemies. Because
Yes.
why not?
That's obviously the power
Oh,
of the water djinn.
Slightly too early there. Okay, so here I'm gonna try to jump to these pillars. Easy. 20-second skip here. Skips going around.
Thanks to auto-aiming again.
Well, I don't think it's really auto-aiming.
It's not? How do you grab the ledge then? Like he's
Oh,
really
yeah.
changing the angle.
I guess that's the auto-aim part. My bad.
Did you get hit, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just got hit by the smaller one, but it still works.
Okay.
So when you do get hit, you kind of store damage, and then when you hit a death barrier, like that one, there's different ones, I guess, but that one gives you a boost if you had damage earlier, and you boost straight into the next checkpoint. It's pretty funny. Took me a really long time to figure that one out when I first got it. So I actually had no idea what was giving me the boost, but then I realized it was the enemies hitting me.
Also, luckily you get the checkpoint although you're already dead, basically. Which doesn't really work in other Prince of Persia games. Like Sands of Time, for example.
Yeah. Well, I think in other parts it doesn't work in this game either. But I guess the developers didn't expect you to reach the checkpoint there.
Yeah, probably.
Foolish mistake. Oh, my eyes right now. Hello? What? I was pressing the button. Alright, so yeah, just chain charge attacks with the ice upgrade. It's a pretty good strat. Okay, so here is
A lot of platforming coming up.
an interesting skip. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Wow. The enemies were kind of messing with me there. Guess we'll just do it that way.
Did you just soft lock?
Okay, so normally when you do that, the game takes away the ability to rewind. But if you have storage, it doesn't do that. And when you fully rewind, you can start walking again. And now I need an upgrade for sand. And there we go.
Yeah, easy.
So yeah, you clip onto the ceiling there, and then you have to clip slightly out and run backwards to grab inbounds again, which is kind of tricky, but it's a pretty nice skip. So I'm glad I got.
You are waiting for your timer to go past the limit,
yeah.
like 8 or 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds. Fully rewinding takes 10 seconds, so I just counted to 10. And then
So
You
the
can-
rewind automatically stops when you're still in that kind of floating state. So it transitions you into being able to walk on that.
yeah, you just want the start of the rewind to be that you're already floating.
Yeah.
That's why you have to wait. Now we get onto the gardens, which have some pretty cool skips. The first one will be interesting level design, because a later part of the level is right behind a wall that we can already reach here. So what we're gonna do is just clip through and then jump to the other side. If I don't suck at a video game. Well, it doesn't actually give me enough time.
I have to warn him about Rataj.
So I guess we could talk about a new clipping method, which was recently found and is currently being worked on.
Oh, I pressed
It's
one
called You
button.
Fall Down and Die.
God. How am I failing this? This is like the easiest door wall.
It's actually really easy to clip there. Yeah. So yeah, it's rolling clipping, or roll clipping rather. Because if you kind of roll into a door or a wall diagonally, the prince will run for a bit, and during that running, as far as I understand it at least, if you start the whirlwind there, you can take the speed to kind of clip easy and then 2 cents. So yeah, that's
Yeah, you gain more distance from your first clip. I don't understand. Like, I'm pressing the button, he's just not doing it. Okay, so there you jump to the other side, and then you can clip through the wall from the other side because that's how collision works in this game. Hello.
yeah. The next part of the level is kind of not there.
Yeah.
Where is
Because
it?
we skipped parts, we have to load the area by going into the
Oh, there
trigger
it is.
there.
Hold out against that thing.
Nice. Good direction.
Where did he go?
And here will be another cool shortcut that I found, actually. It's pretty well
Speaking like
hidden.
it's the only skip you ever found in this game.
Can you jump? Excuse me, video game. I'm pressing buttons. Guess I'll... Is space not bound or something? What the hell? I can't really do it on controller like that. Guess that works.
Looks really easy, but because of the camera, it's really, or it can be quite tricky to get the angle right.
Yeah,
Interesting
The-
background sound.
the angle is pretty precise, but you can set it up with keyboard
It's Malik.
if it actually works. Also, shoutouts to drilling.
Professional speedrunning. Actually, speaking of keyboard, there are quite some setups. Like, although Robbie plays on controller, or one usually plays on controller, unless your name is by Neven, you're actually mad. Some of the setups for the precision you actually do on keyboard. As there you have, well, obviously 4 directions, or well, 8 directions. You can possibly go in and know 360 controls. Could make things more precise.
Right, another skip there, which is very important for the next skip as well, because we just skipped a section where you would climb up a water pillar, and then after you do so it breaks down. But right now...
Yeah, what were you saying, Robbie? Please continue.
Right now the pillar is still up, and we can actually use it to skip to that platform. There
Fish
we go.
jump free.
Yeah, we call it fish jump because you jump on a fish. It's a good name. You, by doing that, you skip the fight on the platform you're supposed to do, which saves like 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah, fight is quite long.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 summoners or something who really throw enemies at you.
I think that skip was found by Finger.
Yeah, that's good. Shout outs to Fingers. He did a lot of routing. He was kind of the first guy to do so.
Yeah. Also, he did run this game last year.
Yeah.
At this marathon, right? Yeah.
He was the runner last year. Also ran it at ESA last summer.
And ESA before that.
No,
And
it was
ESA
ESA 50.
Yeah, well, yeah, 2 years before that.
Yeah. Also, here's a skip that was found by everyone.
He actually did it.
Yeah, it's like a super obvious way to skip that area. Not sure what the devs were thinking with that. I guess they weren't thinking.
Probably. Like it's right in your field of view.
Yeah. Like
I didn't know it was a skip. I thought it was the normal way.
Yeah, like everyone did so.
nice timings, by the way. Now introducing convenient placed birds. A very cool mechanic in this game.
Same.
Oh.
Sometimes the camera has a bit of trouble catching up to what you're doing.
So we kill the summoners first because they summon enemies.
Oh, they do? Really?
But even if you kill them, enemies still spawn, so I'm not entirely sure if it speeds it up much.
So there's a skip coming up. Sadly, you have to finish this fight, or else the birds won't spawn, which you need to get into the position, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, these birds.
Yeah, this skip is called slant walk. So this wall you see here next to me is slightly slanted, but we can walk on it because of auto-targeting. So right here the prince tries to grab the thingy. Oh, no. Yeah, he tries to grab the water pole,
Oh, the
but
door's closed.
I didn't freeze it,
Ah.
so he's like, well, what do I do now? And then you can just walk and skip that entire area, which actually saves a lot of time. Also, I am bad at video games, if you didn't know already.
So, do we actually know why the door has no collision?
I think it's just normally supposed to be open. Like it's never supposed to be closed, maybe? I guess, yeah. I think you just can't reach it when it's closed or something. Wow. I actually should have activated stone armor. Can you just like... Oh, I don't want to jump on him.
You can kick his shield away, didn't you know?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So, because I got storage, I can't rewind, so... Kinda had to kill them. And then jump down here. And then, because of storage, you can get onto this bridge, usually.
In theory.
Okay, there we go. And
First try.
It skips a 3-minute fight with Ratash, which is pretty cool. In my honest opinion. Dude, why am I doing this? Just wallrun for like 1 second more. Wow, these traps really make a lot of noise.
As I'm not sure if you mentioned that, but the storage and the rewind, if you rewind while you have storage, the only safe spots are near walls, I think. So, like standing on the ground or something doesn't count. It just rewinds back until you kind of get rid of the storage, or the rewind timer runs out, or the drills run out. There's a nice puzzle coming up. I hope the runner knows the solution to it.
I hope so too.
More like Germany's construction marathon, am I right?
Basically.
I did it.
Nice. So in the end, the spoiler will collapse and you'll go down to the Jin city or whatever. So you can clip through the stairs and fall down, but the next area is not loaded yet. If I'm correct.
Yeah. Like the stairs are kind of 2 parts, and the second part doesn't load. So you can go down for a bit and then you just fall to your death because the stair has no collision.
Yeah. It's quite sad. Would save like a minute or something.
Yeah, but we won't be able to see how good Ubisoft is at physics, you know.
I mean, yeah.
That will be really sad.
Actually did the
Actually did it. Nice.
puzzle. Legend. Shoutouts to Toka for helping me with that puzzle.
Great experience in the practice room.
So you're supposed to wall run to these curtains, but you can also just jump. Because for some reason you can jump really late off of these things.
So, yeah, some kind of sub jump. Can do that. There also used to be a small storage skip to get to the curtain faster. Like it's faster than wall run, but slower than the sub jump, kind of. So yeah, so it's not done anymore.
Yeah.
I think Razia might have warned me about that.
Easiest corridor in the game. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, I already messed it up. Always get baited. Oh, Wow, nice. Staying in place for no reason. Alright. We did it.
That corridor can really mess with you if you kind of get out of the rhythm.
Yeah, the later sections are really annoying.
Yeah.
But if you're on a good cycle, it's not that difficult. So now we got another power, which is I don't know what it's called actually.
Recall.
Oh, this is wait. Why is this called recall?
Because you recall the area that's not there anymore. I guess.
I thought the rewind was called recall. Okay.
Or is this one restore?
I don't know.
Good thing we know this game.
Yeah. Well, basically.
Eraser,
you,
what is it in French?
I don't know. I just know that recall is the name of the rewind ability in Warrior Within.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe they changed that around. But yeah, what you do is you basically press a button and then stuff appears. It's really not that interesting.
Also literally useless outside of this area.
Yeah, so you just like you press the button and then the thing appears. So I should get some upgrades here.
I guess it could be restore.
Imagine clicking button.
Hope Sam will not ban us all for not knowing that.
Also with these bosses, they go into this down state, like that. You're supposed to do like an execute attack when they do that, but you can just also kill them normally by just attacking them some more, which is way faster.
Also, you see this ice upgrade, I think it's ice 3, right?
No, Ice 2 still.
Ice 2 still. But yeah, even ice 2 is quite strong, so we get ice 3 in the run, right? Or do we get ice 4 even?
No, you get Ice 3 and that's it.
Ice 3, yeah. Yeah, like the ice upgrade, like on level 4 if you have that, it's really, really powerful. So that works, to our right.
Easy.
Easy.
So yeah, rewind boost here to get up to this last platform. If it can like actually solidify. It's kind of tricky sometimes. Sometimes it just targets other things to solidify. It's really annoying.
Nice curtain.
Yeah.
Denied.
Don't need that. Now it's time for another ceiling walk, as we call them. So I'm gonna get storage. And then do the pleb way. Dude, my clipping is not working.
So obviously, as you need one rewind for, well, the ceiling walking, you only have 2 rewind or 2 energy or whatever to tip through the wall.
So yeah, get storage, go onto a ceiling, and then fully rewind.
Yeah, same as before, really.
And now we can walk on this. And this is actually a section you would go after doing a bunch of stuff, but we're not entirely in bounds. Luckily, there's a checkpoint trigger that extends out of bounds if I fall down in the correct spot. And there it is.
Nice.
And then you can just reload and hit the... yeah, you get back in bounds. Here I'm just gathering some needed energy so I can flip through these doors.
That door leads to a sanctuary. I will open it.
Actually, these doors are double doors,
Get rid of these spirits.
but there's... If he gets it,
Camera, hello.
the fourth dimension.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they're kind of like two thin walls right after each other. So what you do is you clip through the first one, and then you can actually wall run onto the other one from inside. You do like a certain controller movement
There's a
pattern.
kind of wrong way wall run or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think I discovered that by accident.
But it only works on the second wall, like if you're in between.
Yeah. It only works if you're like out of bounds. You can't, because you're doing the wall run in bounds, you can't do the wall run out of bounds.
Well, that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Interesting.
It's actually a theme with this game. Like if the movement works out, it can be really cool, and then the next second you jump into a fence and
Yeah.
you're like mentally destroyed.
Actually, down
Your
here.
spirit is broken.
Alright, reservoir. The reservoir has a skip, which caused me a lot of frustration when I was trying to figure out how to do it consistently. But it's easy now.
Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
So you get into a certain spot.
Yeah, that's just a setup for position.
Oh, that actually doesn't work. And then you jump against the fence I'm right next to, which gives you a lot of height. And then the game just decides that it's not gonna work today. Okay. Very interesting game. So what's supposed to happen is I land in a very precise spot, which causes the prince to... actually needs more energy. It kind of gets staggered, and when you rewind at that point, you can stand on the fence, and then you can do the skip from there.
Also, you need to have one energy for the next part, so that's why you had to reset the checkpoint.
Yeah, because the war next in again.
Well, none of my setups have been working this run, so not surprised here. Classic Prince of Persia, to be honest. Setups work until they don't.
Could it be resolution related or something?
I don't know.
I mean, it could be related to anything, really.
Oh. Missed the button. Wow, this is great.
How much does it skip save? Like 45 a minute or something?
Yeah, it's over a minute. It's like 1 minute 15 or something.
So I guess it's not worth any more, but in principle it's worth to try for a bit. Despite the precision.
I still don't understand. Well, I guess we have to not do it. Which I haven't done in like ages, but sure.
I mean, most of the platform in this game is really self-explanatory, as there's usually only one way you can go. So. Don't skip anything too fancy. Aside from this cool fight, of course.
There's actually something I need to kill.
Can get Ice 4 with this extra XP.
Nice. Dude. Fuck off. That's it. Can you skip this cutscene? What the hell?
What?
Oh, wait. Thought there were two birds.
What are estimates, honestly?
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
What? How did I press that? So yeah, you skip all the way up until here.
I mean, at least one now can appreciate what he would have skipped.
This game actually worked like it should.
It's the wrath of the Uplay patch, honestly.
Yeah.
Also that.
Right, so for this sliding section you can use storage to skip all of it. As I just did there.
There's Ice 3.
And really none of that hit him.
Usually these guys run at you, but if they get hit by the ice blast, they can get staggered and kind of stop their running at you. But well, as that apparently didn't hit, still charged at the prince.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one more donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. We have $10 from Trevor. He says, "Thank you for the quality entertainment and supporting a good cause. Shoot out to the drill guy."
No. Yeah, this just a thick door or a double door as well? Not sure.
No, just pretty thick.
Yeah. So you actually want all the energy you can get for this to clip through?
Come on.
Close.
Classic. Like after most checkpoints, the cutscene starts right away when you reload it, but that one you have to walk for 2 seconds and then you get the cutscene. Dude, I'm pressing the button. Like, it should never not do the whirlwind attack. If anything, it should cancel the walking. So I don't understand why it's not doing the whirlwind attack. Like, I'm amazed by this game.
Should actually tweet like @jmechner why, like with no context, just it's a general question. There we
got
go.
through.
So I guess we just got the king's sword or whatever, like some kind of powerful sword.
Right, yeah. It multiplies your damage like 14 times, I think. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, it's basically a combo of the sword and Razia, which kind of is in the sword or is the sword.
Yeah.
It's a really weird combination.
Yeah, she's infused with the sword. Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting. That's new.
Maybe I should actually tweet it.
Alright, so I have to reset the checkpoint there to set up a glitch with some doors that are upcoming. Because there's supposed to be a fight here, but the door doesn't
Classic.
exist.
Classic.
And then the same thing right here again. Just opens.
Yeah.
So what happens there is you reset the checkpoint and then you go to the spot where you would be after the fight. And for some reason that just opens the door. And I think it's like a... Excuse me? Pressing the button. There we go. I think it's like a fail-safe mechanism to prevent self-blocking. If you were to do the fight, but then you reset checkpoint really quickly afterwards, I think you
Could be, yeah.
could maybe soft-block if they didn't do that. But you could do that. You could code that prevention in many other ways that wouldn't break the game.
I mean, it's not like we complain, honestly.
No. Pretty fond of it.
So you jump around the fight trigger? Is that right?
Ah, yeah.
So that's supposed to be a fight trigger, but
Okay,
Why?
So I can actually... What? No, don't wall run that way. I could have wall run on the other side.
We'd have one more donation.
Well,
if
that's the
okay.
fight.
yeah, I guess.
All right. We have $5 from Meryl. Hey GSM team and runners, you're awesome. Thanks for doing what you do and good luck with the run, epic dude guy. Putting this towards Hanky because why wouldn't I want to make his life harder?
It's probably the cluster truck incentive Twitch chat, I guess. If so, that's worth donating for. Just pointing that out.
Some cool birds right here. Very convenient placing, so I can progress. It's just really simple platforming at this stage.
Makes sense at the end of the game to have like easy stuff.
Yeah. Kind of feels like it's just dragged out at this point.
Yeah, they were like, our game is maybe kind of short. We have to make it longer.
Yeah.
Just extend the recam part. Because even casually the game is not as long. It's like 4 hours or something. We played the first time, or 5 maybe. It's not too much.
The border of my kingdom. We are in your palace now.
You are right.
Of course.
It is in my power. I will make sure you return home.
I thought it would go the other way for some reason.
So we're back in the palace, but something seems weird. A lot of sand here.
Camera, hello?
Going for
Oh,
the
it
skip.
didn't work. Rip.
Skip is actually impossible.
Shortcut right there, you can just boost to the other enemy. Can you not? Okay. Auto targeting wins again.
So quite a few skips in this game. Just the previous one are like, if you know the map, they're kind of obvious, but like if you approach this area for the first time, given the camera, you just have no chance of getting that or seeing that. But if you know it already, it's really natural to just go from fence to fence. Let's clip more doors.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry.
There's a really big door here.
Yeah. Also, the part behind it is not immediately loaded, so you have to kind of
Did I rewind
like
too
you
far?
can't fully clip through in the first go because then you'll just fall down.
Just duping some energy. Using one to get two. Oh. No, my energy. Got that.
Yeah, so here you fall down, and that loads the area, and then
And then you can wall run on the other side.
must have been the Sand Army.
Okay.
Invisible beam.
Dude,
Let's go.
okay.
Also, a funny thing, I think these saw blades can be out of sync if you do, like if you restart checkpoint sometimes, or I don't know what caused it, but you can get kind of screwed by the game there.
You will make this easier on yourself.
That's really funny.
Yeah, sometimes you can get a pattern that's actually impossible.
If you ever play this game, like I'm sure you remember this room, because there is a lot of timing.
Yeah, casually this room is quite hard because you really have to kind of work with your abilities, like use them interchangeably and some weird timing. So yeah.
That's like the only interesting room in the game. I mean, casually. Of course.
Yeah, guess you can argue about it. Yeah. Small skip there. If you're in the right position on the beam, you can just jump to the second waterfall instantly.
Wait, what?
Second waterfall instantly, I said.
Never not made that before.
And this is also a section of the game where a height glitch would be really beneficial. Razor, when will you find that? Please.
Oh, nice.
No.
Denied.
This game doesn't even work on my PC. Please.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Final section of the game, by the way. Soon. Like you think, well, nice, you're already outside. That's cool. But no, that's not a tower. Although I guess this one actually has a few skips that are more than 1 second. So.
Well,
cool.
At least I got sand, I guess.
Actually trying to jump in the precise direction in this game is, well, at least can be an interesting task. As seen with that bird.
Yeah. And there you can actually reach it unintentionally to skip like a loop around this room.
Out of 2 auto aiming. Final boss sequence, let's go.
Yeah.
So at this point they just didn't care anymore, they went all out, like now everything explodes and flies through the air. Don't care anymore.
But at least you will be able to see your brother, which is
Well, nice. That's worth destroying the whole kingdom. So
Yeah.
cool.
totally. Look, he's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Now
Spoiler,
it's
that's
gonna
Malik. Or was
scream.
Malik. But not Srotash. But Malik is still in there. He can fight it. I believe. Being on the story is great.
I've never seen a storm like this.
I have. Once.
Let's hope we can make it the last of its kind.
So yeah, I just do some fights and then you jump to some birds and then you fight some more and then some more birds. pretty good.
Very exciting concept.
Yeah.
Also, greetings to Catalyst, who made it just now.
So,
So, dude.
Pop crew sticks together. Maybe. So for the platforming at the end, you have to focus still a bit, because like there's not birds where you dash to with the B button on the Xbox controller, but there are also some swing poles, and if you just mash the B button all the time, you'll fall down the swing poles, which obviously has never happened to me before. Is this Sub-Uyama, by the way?
is this Subtoka?
I hope so. In the run, it's always nice to have a backup upgrade, which you could use if you're out of energy in some crucial situations.
Yeah. So this is the actual final boss. I'm gonna be doing a quick kill
Powers I gave you.
Well, I wasn't expecting Ratash
by
to make this easy on
running
us.
around a bit
See the seal on his
until you can
chest?
attack him.
That is where you must aim.
Couldn't you pick somewhere a little
Quick
easier
kill?
to get to?
It's not very quick so far.
Stone armor blocks all the attacks. I have a charged up attack. And then you knock him straight until like past half his HP bar. And at each quadrant of its HP bar represents a phase. So now I skipped straight to the third phase and he's gonna do this attack twice. Because he's supposed to do it in phase 2 and in phase 3. And then after he's done with that, we can go straight for the kill. Skipping phase 4. Nice sound effect.
Ratash sounds like a motorbike or something. The stone armor again to keep the combo, so the enemies don't interrupt you.
And that's the
And
kill.
time. Sub-Uyama, let's go.
Alright. Thanks for watching that run, everyone. Sorry for all the delays, and it was a very unfortunate run because